So, I went and cleared out the Idukan Taig, just to kind of clear out the area, and I filled out my entire inventory, so I stopped by in Orzammar real quick to empty out my some of my inventory. So now we are heading to the final area.
If Branka is anywhere, this has to be it. She will not be unprepared.
There she is.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka, by the stone! I barely recognized you.
Oghren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Oghren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Endrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side.
So, Branka seems, and this is kind of mainly through our interpretation of the voice acting, she seems somebody who, I'm not really sure what the correct term for this is, but you notice how she just seems so unfazed by this, just so unbothered by this. I don't know if, like, lack of emotion is a term for this, because I don't think necessarily that's the case. I think she is just so focused and driven and determined on her goal that nothing else matters to her. As far as she's concerned, nothing else whatsoever matters more so than getting this anvil. Everything else, who cares? This is the one and only thing matters. Remember, we just saw what she allowed to happen to her family and house. Yeah. Yes, he is dead, and the assembly is deadlocked.
Then what is your involvement in this? Why would a surfacer be interested in dwarven politics? You must have a patron. A highly placed patron. And they must want something in particular. Now, what might that be? I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very dark spawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. The means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it.
Sounds like you could use some help.
And you assume, after all my efforts, you'll be able to waltz in and seize the anvil without a hitch? How typically arrogant. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caradon himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void.
Yeah, you would, and have. Does that include Hespeth and the others of your house?
Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caradon's maze, and out to where the anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is all sealed off. So the only way we can get out of here is to finish this area. By the way, notice the river of lava here. I actually think that's actually a pretty decent and cool looking effect. I just kind of like that.
I needed people to test characters.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
There's no way to break through except by trial and error. I sent them in. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespeth. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed.
Reach for greatness. This is one thing that I'm not really too fond of. I'm staying here so we can get all the dialogue from it. Okay, hold on. Morgan? I think I messed that up. Yeah, I picked the wrong option there. There we go.
Oh, someone must give me a score.
She shouldn't have gone. She was pledged to me. She swore she'd do whatever it took to find the Anvil. There was no other choice. Most of them were dying of the taint already. But some of the women were transforming. I knew what they would become. There would be an endless supply, fresh, dark spawn to test the traps. They could still serve me, let me find the Anvil. It was the only way.
Do I need to add anything to this? Like, seriously. And what I was saying was, this leads to something that I've never really been fond of, and this idea that this is all about them reobtaining their glory, as she says later, that they... And this is something that, you know, the dwarves in this setting and other, you know, races and other settings, like, say, elves and other certain fictional settings, this idea that they were this great grand empire at one point, and they hate the fact that they're not anymore. They were on top of the world, and now they're not. And they hate that. And they want more than anything to be, once again, at the top of the heap and be this mighty, glorious empire above everyone else. And if we're not, well, then we have to fix that. We have to, don't you understand? We have to have our glory back. It's all that matters. And I just get very... I just find that very annoying and get irritated by that, and just... I don't like that. Like, to me, that's a silly motivation.
Better than later.
I am your death! You have no idea how they carried on, holding my hand and begging to die. They had pledged me their loyalty. They had no right to fight me. They say your order is renowned for its wits as well as its brawn. Perhaps you'll do better than my poor clansmen. There's something about this place. It makes people despair.
I'll get on it. All right.
Notice how she's up there behind this barrier, completely protected.
Is it time to kill something?
I am ready. On it.
They won't know what hit them.
That's it? Nothing more? I guess there's nothing left for her to say.
Now's better than later.
There you go, Morgan.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Yeah, this gauntlet here really is rough. Not only are we fighting Darkspawn, but we'll have some interesting areas to go through as well.
Now's better than later.
Take note of some of the golems around here. And dwarves. Autosave before this room. Filled with poison. Close the gas valves.
I'll get on it.
That's it.
Cannot win!
So yeah, you're fighting golems while also taking poison gas. Let's do that.
Watch out. Trap there. Watch out. Trap there.
Ow!
I'll get on it.
Let's see what you're made of!
I like how it autosaves in between each room. Oh, I remember not liking this room.
The hedge.
Let's
Sorry,
finish
am I
this.
too quick for you?
Now it's better than later. Done now.
Your time to die! I am your death! Begin the onslaught!
It is done.
Oh, come on.
All right.
No chance. No chance at all.
That about wraps it up.
Ha-ha!
Now it's better than later.
Begin
I'll
the
get you a
onslaught!
ladder so you can get off my back.
You will not fear me!
This really gets the blood pumping.
Now it's better than later.
No mercy!
On it.
Bobbler, where's the next one?
Oh, the stuns.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? I'll get on it.
That'll teach you. Watch in horror as I rip you apart.
Let us end this!
Now it's better than later. Done. Anything else?
Fools! Wipe them out!
Done.
We are victorious again.
Splendid.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
I believe that was the final room. Yep. Alright. It's time.
My name is Carradine. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar. If you seek the Anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it.
As in the Carradine?
Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere.
10 feet tall and vulnerable? I could think of worse fates.
It was an option I could offer warriors who would volunteer to defend their homeland, and some took it. But King Valtor became greedy. He began to force men, casteless and criminals, his political enemies, all of them were to be given to the Anvil. It took feeling the hammer's blow myself to realize the height of my crimes.
Sounds like you earned this.
I, trapped forever in my own creation, a fitting punishment, I suppose. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the Anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The Anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
You, please, help me destroy the Anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Why should I let your guilt inconvenience me?
Your people on the surface believe that some magics are never worth the price of their use. Can you not see this is one of them?
Why are you listening? We had an agreement. I'm the one you came here to find, not him.
Branka, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with dark spawn spume? The Anvil will let us take back our glory!
That line right there has always really bothered me about Branka's motivation about this. Our empire... Is this what our empire should look like? It will let us take back our glory. Yeah, that's not very good motivation. So, normally, this might be the easiest choice in the game to make. Because in a normal good run, yeah, no, we're siding with Carradine and destroying the Anvil. Because, nope. However, as I have said before, this is an alternate playthrough where we are doing some alternate choices. Choices that you probably normally would not see others make because, well, these are considered the evil choices. Yeah, there's also an interesting gameplay aspect to this, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But, yeah, we're actually going to be siding with Branka and letting them keep the Anvil. I know that sounds horrible, but hey, that's the type of playthrough that we're kind of doing. Now, as I've said, I'm not going full evil or anything, but there are some alternate choices I do want to go ahead and show. These are a couple of them.
No! I cannot allow you to do this. To me, golems! Defend the Anvil, whatever the cost!
By the way, I really like his golem design. The whole lightning golem thing, I really like that design. So he drops a shield. It's a buckler shield called Carradine's Shield. He also drops Carradine's Cage, electricity resistance, and Sovereigns and Lyrium. So.
All right, all right.
There's the anvil. It glows like liquid metal from the lyrium vein. Metal from the lyrium veined through it. You see the veins? That's all lyrium. But dark stains attest to its bloody past. It is built straight out of the stone of the floor. Trying to move it would require years to chip away at its base.
Here it is! The Anvil of the Void! So sweet! Such power!
You found the anvil. Are you happy now? Maybe we could go back to Orzammar, share the good news.
Look at it. It was worth it. All of it. The anvil is everything I thought it would be.
I should have known. I thought that once you had the anvil, you'd be satisfied.
Perhaps I could use it now. A reward for defeating Caradon. You wanted a crown, no? Or have you set your sights higher than the petty kings of Orzammar?
I could say, make me a golem, and I'll volunteer Ogren. That would, yeah, no, that would give me some disapproval from him, as you can imagine. Let's see. I can say, now here's the interesting thing. You can actually convince her to destroy the anvil at this point. Yes, as crazy as this sounds, after siding with her and defeating Caradon, because you could go through a route of, say, I'm trying to use it to bargain with her. But look at this. You can actually say, I want you to destroy the anvil once you have made my crown. So you can actually convince Branka to destroy the thing that she has been seeking for years. Or, I want to see how wrong you've been. But, we're just going to say, a paragon's crown. The Assembly must accept that.
Then stand aside and I shall forge it for you. Take it to whomever you please. There it is. An ugly lump of hot metal to go over a couple of empty heads. Now leave. It will take me some time to fully realize the mysteries here.
I can still try and convince her. The anvil is evil, you can't keep using it. Remember to keep your end of the bargain. Because I'd like to have some golems for when we go after the dark spawn. You know, having some golems to aid against the blight and even the archdemon would be kind of nice, Branka, just saying.
Once Orzammar settles on its petty king, have him send for me. When next you lead your armies against the archdemon, they will be shielded by a tide of steel men.
I hope this makes you happy, Branka. I don't think you understand what it costs to get you here.
Oh, stuff a rag in it, Ogren. Move on. Find a few whores. Sodding stone, I never thought you'd be the pining type. Now be gone.
Wow. Just straight up like, oh, just go find some whores and move on. I'm done with you, Ogren.
Perhaps if I activate the lyrium ore in the principal node.
You see a large stone tablet, chipped with age and with a great number of dwarven runes carved into its surface. The writing is in Dwarven and appears to be a long list of names, each with the stamp of their house next to them. You recognize few of the house names. At the bottom of the list are the words, "We honor those who have made the sacrifice, let their names be remembered." The carvings are still deep enough that a tracing could be taken, allowing the information to be carried elsewhere. Hey, Ogren, what is this? Can you tell?
Names. Long list of dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper at Orzammar, I bet they'd brown their trousers and pay good gold for it. Probably both.
Take a tracing. The runes are traced into a stack of papers which you store in your pack. Alright. So yeah, because of this choice and letting her have the anvil, we will now actually have a separate group of golems that we can actually call upon as a separate army during the big final battle in Denerim against the Blight and the Archdemon. And they, like gameplay-wise and stat-wise, are actually pretty strong. As you would imagine. We're talking about an army of golems here. So, yeah. So, gameplay-wise, we actually just got a nice, strong army to help us against.
Oh, I guess you both got what you wanted. Hope it was worth the cost. We should get back to the city now. Share the news.
So, Ogren, I think at this point, buddy, you need to just consider yourself and Branka divorced. And, I could probably reintroduce you to your old friend Felsi, and you two can have a baby, and then you can be able to kind of hopefully become a better dad to that baby in Awakening. Just saying, you know. All right. To the assembly.
Yeah, those Deshers have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Alright. Back to Orzammar.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Branka is alive, and she has chosen her king.
Branka still lives. Though she's mad as a nug at a tanner shop. She finally found the Anvil of the Void, and chose to stay in the Deep to work it. She tasked this Grey Warden to give her crown to Orzammar's next king, chosen by the ancestors as a first in a millennium to lead a golem army against a blight.
Then tell us, Grey Warden, which king did Paragon Branka endorse?
Well, she wished for me to give the crown to whomever I chose.
We've argued in these chambers for too long. The will of the Paragon is that the Grey Warden decide.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. None of what I did mattered before. All the stuff about the dwarven politics and showing who I was going to endorse through the actions of who are you backing, none of it matters. Because here I can still choose either one regardless of any of that. I could have completely backed either Balin or Harrimont and just choose the other right now. It makes everything I did before with the whole dwarven politics and who I'm backing and all that stuff completely meaningless. And I don't like that. I don't like it when it makes that stuff kind of meaningless. Balin.
At last, this farce has ended, and I can take my rightful place on my father's throne.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
you acknowledge me as king?
I cannot defy a paragon. The throne is yours, King Balin.
Then as my first act as king, I call for this man's execution. Guards, seize him!
So, I want to point out a couple of things. One, if you choose Haramont, Balin will be like, no, I refuse to accept this. And he has men there ready, and they attack you, trying to stop you from crowning Haramont. Yeah. But this right here kind of also shows a couple of things about those two different outcomes. One, it shows that Balin is not willing to kneel to tradition of accepting whatever a paragon says. That he's not very much into tradition. Where he's very much in favor of trying to force change for the betterment of their kingdom and people. Haramont, however, in this moment, probably knowing and understanding what it means, is still so much into tradition. It still is such a traditionalist dwarf. Probably knowing it means his death, still yields to it because, well, a paragon said so, so it's tradition that we yield to whatever a paragon wills, so sure, you're king now. Even though this probably means you're going to have me killed, but hey, a paragon said so, so I have to go with it, because it's tradition. You know what I mean? You guys get what I'm saying here? I hope I've made my point. Alright, I did what you wanted, Balin. Now where are my troops?
I will return to my palace to gather my generals and prepare our forces for the surface. I will see you there, Warden. You have my gratitude for all you have done for me.
Ooh, look how long the load is. Yeah, I should probably have restarted the game in between videos.
Yourself and more, Warden. Without your aid, I would not have taken this throne so smoothly or so soon.
Congratulations, bravo. Now where are my troops?
I've already sent a mission to Branka. I'm certain by the time you call for us, I can send you a vanguard of golems for your army. Since you did more than I expected, I offer a personal reward as well. This was a mall favored by my brother Trian. Take it with you, as a reminder of your ties to Orzammar. Now, I have much to do. If there is nothing else...
I want my face on one of those big statues. I will return to surface. Thank you for your aid, Balin.
Good luck, Warden. May we both crush our enemies.
And may we both continue to do business when I join Nora on the throne of Ferelden. Oh, I'm sorry, did that slip out? Ignore I said that. That won't be important until later.
There are people waiting, Warden. I must see to them.
Indeed. Okay. So now we have some things to take care of here. To deliver. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, the memory leakage. It's there.
The throne restored and legends put to rest. Incredible. If I'd heard it secondhand, I'd have called it a sodding lie. Warden, we've got a king because of you. The rest, impressive, but the Legion is grateful most for restored leadership. It frees us to fight to the Darkspawn properly.
So then, can I count on you to fight the Blight at my side?
Nay, our place is down here. When you break the Blight, and you've got the skill, we'll make sure they have nowhere to retreat. You'll have us indirectly. That's more than any surfacer can say.
We need you topside. Show the world your skill.
You alone have the skill to back up your words. Each of the Legion owes our homeland a death, but if our lives are better shed on the surface, so be it. Back to Orzammar when we win, though. I'll not stay topside to lose my stone sense.
The Warden is...
Join with Phelan. We can't allow it.
A little too late, guys. So, Shaper, I have a couple things for you. Oh, and another for a couple of others here.
You found it. Warden, you have my gratitude. You're a bright spot in an otherwise dark time.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig?
I have the records right here.
You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward.
Any reward?
Most impressive, Warden. King Balin's ascent to his father's throne has been recorded in the memories. Is there something more I can help you with?
I have some tracings here you might be interested in.
What's this? A list of names. Most of these clans no longer even exist. Is this authentic?
You bet your hairy arse it is. Taken from a tablet in Caridin's fortress, no less.
Then is it true? The rumors of Caridin's so-called volunteers? Extraordinary! I would love to make a copy of this. The Shaperate has never had much information on Caridin and his golems, much less proof of this magnitude. Warden, I hope this artifact from our archives will suffice as a reward. I must inform the Shaperate at once.
Okay.
I'll get on it.
Well, Orta?
My name's Orta. After the old Orton house, they gave our seat back. And the records show which houses still owe House Orton money. One day, I will be able to properly thank you for all you've done for me.
In what way? Your happiness is enough.
And I don't know what treasure is left, but whatever I get, you can have as much as you want. I'll have to find someone willing to look. Maybe a whole expedition. If the Tig is still there, it must have something. House Orton will not forget this kindness. Didn't that sound official?
Adorable. Huh, Morgan leveled up from that.
News of the hour. Balin is king. Future of Orzammar secure.
The crier in front of Haramont's place is gone. Let's see how long this loads.
I trust Vala, my nutcracker.
So let's go break the news to Filda.
You've returned. With all the excitement over the new king, I never expected you to remember my poor son. Did you learn anything about my ruck?
Yeah, so I can kind of be brutal to her. He was crazy and I put him out of his misery. I mean, I can be really mean to her with this. Just brutally honest. But I'm just going to say he's dead.
Oh, my poor boy. I guess I knew, but I just wish I could have seen him one last time. Here, this is my husband's masterwork, the first shield he smithed. I don't have anyone to save it for anymore. I'd like you to have it, for what you risked to bring me this news.
Poor Filda.
I see enemy there. You're starting to send rulers for Harrowmont.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
I gotta come back here so I can go to Dusttown and try to get Leliana's nug. But we have to do some talking in camp before I can apparently get that set up. We gotta do some talking in camp now that we have everybody in the team here. Now that Ogren's part of the team.
I would have thought saving the surface would have involved less walking.
Little legs getting tired?
I thought these people had animals, horses and such.
In Orlais, perhaps, but not here. If you like, I could hoist you up on my back.
Hey now, don't start with the...
Yes, climb up, and I'll cart you around like a child. Marvelous fun.
You knife-eared pipe cleaner. You couldn't carry me on your best day.
Perhaps if you left behind the spirits, all the weapons, and lost about 2 feet of beard.
I give up. Just keep walking. Give me a moment.
Take your time.
Why, the stone. I feel like I'm about to fall off the world with all that sky up there.
Is that strange to you?
Strange? Strange is your wife turning out to prefer the ladies, not living in a world without a bleeding ceiling. Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
I hear there isn't even really any dark.
Let's go to Soldier's Peak real quick, just in case a cutscene triggers here. And then we'll end in camp. Yep, cutscene time.
Sire, I have more news. Oh, yes. Well, it seems that the fighting has gone exactly as you...
I would like to know what you intend to accomplish, Father. Should we not be fighting the Darkspawn instead of each other?
The nobility should be brought into line and then the Darkspawn defeated. This is no true blight, Honora. Only Kaelin's vanity demanded it be so.
Beg pardon, sire. But blight or no, we may not have the manpower to face the Darkspawn soon.
Kaelin approached your legions for support, did he
Never!
not?
Marek and I drove those bastards out! We'll not roll out the welcome for them now!
We need help, Father. We cannot deal with this crisis alone.
Ferelden will stand on its own! I will lead it through this, Honora. You must have faith in me.
Did you kill Kaelin?
Kaelin's death was his own doing.
So, let's talk about that scene a moment. First off, you can show that, or see that it's bringing up, how this Civil War thing. You notice a lot of this is happening off camera. We're not really seeing the Civil War that much, but it's very much happening off screen. That's one of the things that Hal was trying to kind of tell Logain about. And keep in mind that Hal is really one of the guy who's like running the show when it comes to dealing with that. Well, because Logain is not really the noble or politician to run those things or handle dealing with those things. But he just kind of sees this as, as a military general kind of perspective. You notice how he was like, the nobility will be brought into line and then the Darkspawn defeated. That is the plan. And then you notice he says, this is no true blight, only Kalen demanded it be so. And then later on, at the Landsmeet, he's going to actually change his tune in front of the nobles, saying, yes, the blight is indeed real, but do we need Grey Wardens to fight it? So you can see kind of the odd mentality back and forth that Loghain kind of has, but it also lends to that thing I commented on earlier about how the writers were kind of indecisive about how they wanted to write Loghain's character, where some scenes don't entirely gel, but yet they do show that there is some kind of mental instability going on there with Loghain. And once again, we see that the mere mention about the Orlesians is answered with a very strict never. Like, he doesn't even want to think or consider that as an option whatsoever because of what they did to them. He won't even hear of it. Now, the reaction from Honora about the thing about Kalen, well, that's another aspect because, well, it's debatable whether or not Honora even actually cared for Kalen. But that's a whole nother separate discussion. Honora is an entirely separate discussion from Loghain. It's mainly Loghain I want to kind of discuss there in that scene, along with how, of course, talking about how, if the Civil War keeps going, we're not going to have that many people to be able to have ready to face the Darkspawn. But Loghain, he sounded so matter-of-fact about that. The nobility brought into line, and then the Darkspawn defeated. He didn't even, he sounded like it's not even going to be a challenge or an issue. He just sees this as just another battle. Just not really sure at this point, or it's not entirely sure if he actually understands the real severe threat that the Darkspawn, the Blight, actually is, how true it actually is as an actual threat. But again, he also doesn't really know the full details and the full story in regards to, the need for the Grey Wardens to defeat them, because hardly anyone actually does because of the secrecy. So, anyways, I am going to hold on a second. Let me just double check this. I want to come here and perhaps drop some stuff off just in case I need it, because of course I'm going to have to make a cure for that poison. And drop off the things that are named here. Tree and small. There's the smuggled lyrium. Some of these things I cannot remove from my inventory. Uh-oh. Have I reached the limit on these storage chests? I didn't even realize there apparently was a limit. I don't know if that's so. I can always just go to the house that I created. That was the whole point of that house. So, all these crystals for Shale, and I haven't done anything with, because you'll notice I didn't take Shale with me. Now, here's the thing. I think I'm about to be confronted by people when I go to camp. Let's find out. I probably should have saved before that. Nope. Okay. Save.
I have a question for it, if it will indulge me. My understanding is that it encountered the smith named Caradin, he who was responsible for the creation of the golems, that he had become a golem himself. What I do not know is what became of him. Why did he not return with it? I would have many questions for him.
So yeah, if I just admit the truth to Shale, she will get furious, and I think she either tries to kill me or she just leaves. And leaves the party for good. So, I'm gonna lie. I do not know what happened to him.
Truly? He just disappeared? Then what of the Anvil of the Void? Has it been recovered?
Yes?
So, something of the past has been recovered. Perhaps other golems will be made again. I can only assume that is a good thing. With Caridin also goes any chance I might have had of finding answers on my past, I assume. Tell me, did it find out anything from Caridin? Anything at all about how I might have been made?
It made golems from living souls.
Meaning that I was once a living creature? That seems highly unlikely, and more than a little insulting. Is it certain?
I'm not trying to insult you, Shale.
Was I forced into this? Or simply glad to abandon a frail body? And more importantly, who was I? I simply must know. I cannot help but believe that answers lie elsewhere in the deep roads. We must look.
Anywhere specific?
Yes, no, I don't know. If it can search the deep roads, I may remember something. If not, then I will have to wait.
So now we get her quest. Explore the deep roads. Okay, so you'll also notice that there is a emissary here from Orzammar.
Orzammar has sent her best, Warden. It has been a long time since the Dwarven army has marched on the surface.
Do you need anything?
Outfitting any army on short notice, there's always room for more gear. Gems would serve the most utility. The Middlestone, sapphires, and the like. We're dealing with many smaller foundries, and larger values might overwhelm.
So that's one of the reasons to collect and keep those.
At your command, Warden. Orzammar's finest are eager
keep
to
them at the
cross
ready.
history. Don't worry about that. You'll be running to keep up when we give the order. At your command, Warden. We'll be fine, as long as the ground hasn't forgotten how to shake.
Okay, so that whole thing is done. Let's see, what were the other things? Oh, that's right, deliver the lyrium to the guy in the circle. The herbalist needs me to make the cure. I thought I did that. Oh, I have to enter it into the memories. Oh. Whoops, I forgot to do that. I need to go do that and add the Legion of the Dead cast into the memory so they get recognized. Whoopsie. Well, maybe we'll do that before we go help Shale try and find out more about herself. Now, as far as what are we going to do next? Well, I'm kind of thinking we go deal with this, we go try and find out what's going on with these elves and, see if we can try and gain their help before we go pursue this Arl and such, Just a thought. Just saying. But then again, we also need to do some chatting here. I think one of the things we'll do next is, in the next part, we'll probably just do a lot of talking with people in camp. Because we got to get a lot of talking and conversations done to trigger certain things to happen. Like, for example, you notice that I apparently couldn't do the thing to get Leliana her Nug pet because apparently I haven't talked to her that much, I guess? I don't know. I'll try and figure that out. So, stay tuned for probably some talking and chatting in camp.